Hello, guys. Yeah, this has been a shit show all day. Um, I've been watching this, and they just keep having one kind of thing go on after another. I think that we can probably watch what because they're out on a view right now, and the lawyers do explain they're going to explain what they're going to see out on this excursion and the relevance to it. Hey, Beck. Hey, Mama. Hello, Jerry. Wandering legs and happy. And but they're out on that excursion now. So maybe by the time that's done, they'll be back in the courtroom. They'll be done with that. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I get it. They finished jury selection this morning, and then right after that, they pretty much went to lunch, and then they decided to go on this view. Yeah, so they're gone right now, but I backed it up so we could listen to what they're going to see and all that. I know, right? She's such a nut job. What is she doing? Isn't that crazy? I'm telling you. Yeah, she didn't show up in court today. And apparently now she has, I don't know how they got it to that point, but she has 4 DUIs now. It's a felony. And so they sent it to Superior Court or something. Yeah. I think she screwed herself. She's going to definitely go to prison, I think. And she's going to lose her license. Hey, Legs. She is so, my God. It's about time, though. She better have to pay for something. She's going to hurt somebody. I've been sitting here watching this shit all day. She is. I think she's in deep shit. I do. I hope so. She does. She is dangerous. She absolutely is dangerous. That is completely outrageous. And I don't think that's the ones from the other states. I think that's just from Georgia. For one thing, she lies every damn time she opens her mouth. Has she been online today herself? God. Does anybody know? All right, 1 is enough. Come on. That's not okay. 4. No, you're right. Damn sure shouldn't be driving a vehicle. That is for sure. I can't believe she just doesn't show up, though, either. She is such a whack, man. Cannot with her. What I think is that the court checked her and found out DUIs in other states, and the law allows them to consider them in charging her. It should allow it because that makes it very clear. Exactly. Exactly right, artist. She is. She's a career trash. 100%. This is wild, though. I've been wondering if she would ever get off the internet. This may be it. Oh, my God. Are you serious? She's had 5? Oh, my God. See, she has zero regard. You know, that's not just having no regard for the law. That's having no regard for life. Ass. I thought that some mad people were going to hang out or go in there, but I guess they didn't. Hold on one second. The bondsman may revoke. Right? Yeah. Who paid that? Wow. Yeah. I can't believe they didn't issue a warrant, though. Yeah. Yeah. I do, right? Wondering, there's no way she forgot. Exactly. Yeah. She's been all over this shit. God, if she is not a whacker, I tell you. Okay, this will explain where we're at, and then we'll see where it happens after that. I'm a poet and didn't know it. Hey, Wicked Pissa. We're going to get caught up of today's goings-ons real quick.
For the delay, ladies and gentlemen. Then the state and the defense will give you their preview statements. Okay. And then we will wait for the bus to come. And when everybody's ready, we'll get on the bus and we'll go for the view. Then depending on what time it is after that and other circumstances, we'll determine whether opening statements will be this afternoon after the view or whether they'll be tomorrow. Okay. So listen carefully to this instruction. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to begin this case with a view. We will be traveling to several locations within the city of Manchester to observe certain areas you will be hearing testimony about. The purpose of the view is to make the testimony you will hear more understandable. If you have the opportunity to look at a scene, the testimony may make more sense to you. Your obligation on the view is to look as carefully as you can and to remember what you see as well as you can. You may not ask questions. You may not take any notes or measurements. You should look carefully at what the lawyers will be pointing out to you. What you see on the view is evidence in this case. Please stay as close together as possible so that you will all be viewing the scene from approximately the same perspective. If you cannot hear or see, please call that to my attention or to the attention of one of our court officers. After the view is completed, you may not revisit the scenes on your own during trial. Also, you may not engage in any discussion among yourselves or with anyone else concerning what you see at the view. As you know, you are not to talk with each other or with anyone else about the case until the end of the trial when you are conducting your deliberations. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, counsel will have the opportunity to make their preview statements to you concerning what they expect you will be seeing on the view. Yes, you may.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Represent the state on this. What we're going to do, and first of all, since it's my first opportunity to talk to you as the jury, big J as opposed to the little j, let me thank you again for your time that you're going to be putting forward not only today but throughout the trial. It's very important both to society, to the government, to the citizens, and it was very, very much appreciated. The first part of your job, for the most part, is going to be taking place in this room. The vast majority of it dealing with the witnesses and the exhibits that you see. But as you just heard from Judge Messer, another part is going to be the view. This is evidence, what you're going to see today. In it is going to be work on the view. We're going to have to walk around in 2 different locations, and the rest of them will require you to look out the windows of the bus to be able to take into account the neighborhoods that you were in. I'm going to explain every place that we're going to go in just a moment, and the defense counsel will also have that same opportunity. Together, we are going to see where this happened. You're going to get to see the same places, the same locations in person that you are later on going to see and hear evidence at trial. And you've already heard, again, Judge Messer's instruction, you should consider today's view to be like evidence. In a few minutes, we are going to get on a bus, maybe not now, and we're going to see a couple different locations in Manchester. In some ways, it's going to be the beginning of a journey that you will likely never forget. This is also the last journey that Harmony Montgomery took while she was alive, and where her body went afterwards. It's a journey that's into the actions of the defendant on that day and the days forward. And we're going to drive by places where Harmony was first assaulted, where she was later killed, where she was later consolidated and crushed. And then finally, the different other locations of where the defendant had her in the city. What you are going to see today is part of the evidence. Some of the locations that we're going to drive by, we are just going to pass by in the bus for a minute, and the bus is going to pull over to the side of the road. So you have an opportunity to look at that location and take in the surroundings. And on 2 of the locations, we will physically get out. One will be a parking lot, and the other one will be an intersection. We will not be going into any residences. Later on, you're going to hear testimony about different homes. We may be driving by an apartment complex today, but we will not be going inside in the actual rooms where Harmony was, or where Harmony later was kept. So we will be outside for the 2 times that we get out of the bus. So before we do that, I want to kind of start at the beginning. The first place that we're going to go to, and this is Miss Johnson, forget my art skills, high school. We're going to start at the courthouse. And the first place that we're going to go to is we're going to go down past Elm Street. Definitely not to scale. We're going to come across Merrimack, and we're going to go up here on Market Street. And at that point, we're going to pull the bus over to the side of the road, and you're going to be able to look out, and I would say look out the right-hand side of the bus to the area of 20 Market Street. That's the location of the methadone clinic, where the defendant took Harmony that morning with the rest of the family inside a 2010 gray Chrysler Sebring. When you're there, I want you to be able to take into account just the outside of the building and also look at the neighborhood. I want you to see the number of other businesses that are nearby, the number of other cars that are nearby, the number of the amount of foot traffic that may be there while we're there. You're going to hear in opening arguments that it was at that first location outside the methadone clinic that the defendant came out from getting his medication, got into the car, and understood that Harmony had had an accident, saying words to the effect of, "Really, Harmony, again?"
Objection, Your Honor.
Approach.
Well, here we go with that, right? Gonna be a lot of that. Oh, you know what? We can go by it too. Haha.
And you're going to hear testimony at that location when Adam came out from getting his medication. You hear testimony that he sensed and smelled that Harmony had lived afterwards, and that's where the assaults began striking. That's why it's important for you to look around, to see what else and who else is there, and to know what that area looks like. From there, we're going to then come back onto Elm Street, probably do a loop around. Go north on Elm, then we're going to go up to Webster Street, at the top of Elm, and that's right over where you get past where you would go on the bridge, the big Brady Sullivan Tower there. We're going to take Webster Street out, and here we're going to go out on Daniel Webster Highway. And there's a Burger King. When we get to the Burger King again, we won't be getting out of the bus. We'll be staying inside, and you'll have a chance to look at that parking lot. What the state is asking you to do is to pay close attention during that drive. How many stoplights roughly are we going through? What are the road conditions like? How long does it take to get there? You're going to hear testimony later on about that same drive. You're going to hear testimony how during that drive, the defendant's assaults continued. He continued to hit Harmony as they stopped at red lights, as they stopped at stop signs. That's why you need to pay close attention during that drive. And we're going to go out to that location. After we've had a minute or two to sit in the bus there at Burger King, and you've had a chance to see the traffic flow, see what cars are like. At that time, we're then going to turn around. We're going to come back down Webster, continue north on Elm, and then we're going to cut over to an area on West River Drive, approximately 59 West River Drive. And there, we're going to make our first stop where we get out of the buses. 59 West River Drive is one of the street locations for Colonial Village Apartments. It's right up on you can see poorly drawn river. It's right on the backside there. We're going to be pulling in between those buildings and going to a very large back parking lot that's behind there. This is where your testimony that the defendant lived in his car after they had been evicted from their Guilford Street home, and where the defendant kept Harmony and the rest of his family after they left Burger King, after he continued to hit her, and drove back there to eat his food while Harmony was moaning. You're going to hear testimony that that's where he used his drugs while Harmony died. When you're there, I'm asking you to notice the number of apartment buildings that are nearby. Look at the number of cars that are in the parking lot, how big that parking lot is. I'm also going to ask you to take notice in that back parking lot area, look towards the tree line. Look at the very back row, closest to the river, where different cars can park. Notice all of that while you're there. It's going to be more than 1 or 2 minutes. So you can get out, you can certainly walk around, take your time to really look in that area and look at the different details that are there. Also look up at the side of the building. I'd like you to know whether or not you see lights on the side of the building that illuminate that parking lot, whether there are street lights that illuminate that parking lot. So do that while you're there. Once we're done, we'll get back on the bus and we're going to drive back towards the city, back on West River Road, back to Elm, and then south to the intersection with Webster. The buses are going to pull over on the side here, and we're going to get back out again. You'll hear testimony that it was here that the defendant's Gray Sebring died, in the intersection. That it was here that where, with his family, the car stopped working, and that it was here, just before he needed to get a tow, you'll hear how he went to the back seat, found that Harmony was no longer alive. I want you to look very closely around that intersection. Look at the traffic going through that intersection, the number of people that were available at that intersection. We're also going to hear the testimony that at that time, when he realized that she was dead, that when you look at the different businesses around, I want you to remember that when later on you're hearing testimony, how his actions was to take Harmony and to stuff her in a duffel bag. You'll also hear later a trial from a tow truck driver, and you'll hear about a gas station on the corner. So while we're in the intersection, and we're not going to be standing in the middle of the intersection, obviously we're going to be standing on the sidewalk. But while you're there and you can move around, take note of how far away that gas station is and the short distance that the tow truck driver had to bring the car. And once we've spent enough time considering all of these, then we're going to be going to another address. You're going to hear a testimony about a lot of different addresses where the defendant brought Harmony's body afterwards. We're not going to be going to the first 2 addresses. That one that involves, you'll hear involves a deck, another one that involves a red cooler. We're not going to be here. We're not going to be driving by one on Lake Avenue as well that you'll hear testimony later on about where he stored Harmony and the ceiling. Where we're going to go is 644 Union Street. So from this intersection, we'll come back onto the buses, onto Webster, come over to Union Street, and head south. And the intersection of 644 Union Street is right at the intersection of Union and Orange. So Orange is the cross street. You're going to see two buildings. We're going to be stopping right outside here, 644 Main. Testimony that you will hear later on involves also a parking lot that's general in the back. But here we're not going to be getting off the buses. You're not going to have to go inside. We're going to ask you to again look out the right-hand side of the buses and the size of the building. While you're there, we're going to ask you to please take a look at the number of apartments that are there, the number of neighbors that the defendant would have had based upon looking at those apartments. Look at the traffic, look at the lighting, look at the neighborhood. Later on, you're going to hear more testimony about that apartment and what took place in that apartment. Again, we will not be getting out of the buses. You do not have to go in that apartment. When we're done at Union Street, the buses will pull away. We'll come down to Bridge, back onto Elm, back south to Merrimack, and then back to the courthouse. I'm going to ask you to look at one last thing on this drive. As we come back to the intersection of Merrimack Street and Elm, roughly here compared to how I'm pointing right now, down at that intersection, right across the street from each other, there's the Thirsty Moose Tap House, which is right on Merrimack. Right across the street from that is a Chase Bank right now. When we drive back down Elm, and then we take that left-hand turn to come up Merrimack Street to come back to the courthouse, I'm going to ask you to look out the right-hand bus of the window. We're not going to be slowing down there. It's Elm Street, a little too busy. But I do want you to look outside that Chase Bank. In the winter of 2020, you will hear testimony that that was not a bank, that that was the Portland Pie Company, pizza shop, that that was where the defendant worked. And you're going to also hear testimony that that was where, on one occasion, he ordered his wife to bring a CMC bag containing Harmony's body and stored it inside a freezer, seen by other witnesses. So when you hear those witnesses and they talk about Portland Pie Company, we're going to be driving by that location. Again, it's a bank now. It's not a.
They're going on a little field trip to Happy. So they're explaining the relevance of this field trip.
And let me stress again, what you see on this view is going to be evidence. The locations we're stopping at: the Habit methadone plant, the Burger King up on Daniel Webster Highway, coming back to Colonial Village where we'll get out, to the intersection of Elm and Webster where we will also get out, the drive by 644 Union Street, then back to Elm.
Hello, DC.
By what was Portland Pie Company before we come back to the courthouse. This will be your only opportunity, as you heard from the court, to look at these places in person until the end of this trial. So take your time. If you need more time, please let the court staff know. We will stay longer in the parking lot. We will stay longer at the intersection. We have great deputies and bailiffs who will allow you to be able to explore the space in a safe manner, so that you're not going to feel like you've got traffic right on top of you or anything like that. So do please take your time. But when you listen to the testimony from the different witnesses, these are 5 of the key locations that you're going to hear. So it's important that you know what they look like in person before you hear that testimony. Based upon that, again, after you hear this and after you see all of the evidence of this case, we'll ask you to return a verdict that is just. But I would also ask you if you would please do also pay close attention to defense counsel's comments about the view, because again, the more observations that you can make on today's view, the better it will be for you to understand the testimony you see later on. And it's a one-only shot. Okay? Thank you very much. Thank you.
Good afternoon. This is where the trial really begins for you, and you literally step into it. You step onto the bus, you go to places. These places are exhibits of your mind. These places in your mind, you apply to everything else that you hear, see, and consider in this case. The state said that this was the last journey that Harmony made. This is where the dispute starts. This is not the journey that Harmony made, but this will be the journey that we make today. And when we leave here and we go to Merrimack Street, that's a clinic. And it is a clinic that you'll hear testimony that Adam and Kayla frequented all the time, or quite a bit. And that when you're there, I want you to look. We can't recreate what was happening on particular days or particular weeks, who might have been coming and going at what time. So you actually can only look around and see the exposure. What is the parking there? What can you see? What is exposed? What is hidden? And then apply the evidence that you hear about events that may have occurred there, and consider, could this have happened? Put your mind to the testimony and apply it. This is what I saw. This is what I remember. This is what the witness is saying. It is your evidence, but it's evidence in the case. Then you'll go from the clinic to Burger King. And at Burger King, that's really very, very important to look at that entire layout. Again, we can't recreate the amount of traffic that was on a particular day or a week. We can't recreate any of that stuff. But you look at the parking. I want you specifically to look at how that drive-through works out when you make the order and then you pay the cashier and then you get your food. Take that into consideration. Take the time to think about a route through the drive-through. What is exposed? What is hidden? Who can see what from what angle? Think about the cashier. Think about all of the stuff around the drive-through. And actually, when you're there and stop, think about that from the time somebody pulls into the parking area. And again, you will be applying that to somebody else's testimony. And then you'll be thinking and applying that. Does this work? Does this not work? What's going on?
Yeah, this is going to be about Kayla. That's really his defense.
From there,
that they not believe Kayla.
You heard that we're going.
And she worked at Burger King for about 5 minutes, I think.
That is a place that you're getting out. So you will take the time. Traffic is going to be different from testimony that you hear about, but you want to look. What is exposed? What is hidden? From particular places, looking at the building, what can you see? What can't you see? We're going to direct you to particular places and areas and say, take a look and consider from this perspective, something that pictures can never quite do. And you got to hold it in your mind and again, apply it to testimony as it comes in. This is an exhibit throughout the trial, not just for this afternoon. From the Colonial, you will go to Elm and Webster, which is a place that you're going to get out. And that is really critical on traffic because, again, it can't be recreated. But there is going to be testimony about traffic, about reaction to traffic. There's a car that's broken down there. And about what people did about the car, about what traffic was like because the car was broken down. And you want to, again, look, what's exposed, what is hidden, and apply your exhibit in your head to the testimony that comes here at trial. Then Fit Shelter is the next place. And you're going to hear about information that happened inside Fit Shelter. So you won't have that sort of same perspective of what's exposed and what's not exposed, because you won't actually see that part. And there's testimony about Fit Shelter that is very disturbing, but you still need to go there so that you put it in place about the type of place that it is. And
Objection? I'm sorry, I think there's an objection. Essentially withdrawn.
messing up my words, Union Avenue. Sorry. You will not be going into Union Avenue, but some very disturbing things occurred at Union Avenue. So you want to hold this into your head. Think about the building. Think about the location. Remember Union Avenue, even though you can't go into it. And I think you'll be very happy that you don't go into it. All of this is an exhibit inside of your head, and keep the names a little bit better than I did. I'm so sorry about that. But the location is the same, and this is the journey that we are taking. And at the end from Union Avenue, you're going to come back here, and as they say, pass by the corner at Merrimack and Elm. Keep that in mind. I also want you to keep in mind the distance from the two. Distance in this case is a little bit less important, but still something to keep in mind as a person testifies about traveling from place to place, about how long does it take, the traffic lights, what is a delay. And I did forget, at each of those traffic lights, I want you to look around again. Just as you're going through the traffic lights, what's exposed, what is hidden. You're going to be on streets. Assume that everything on the street is exposed. Look around on the sidewalks and the areas around it as well. It's a difficult thing. Again, you're not taking notes. And you're going to have to remember this as you apply it to all of the testimony in this case. All of these locations are important, not necessarily for the reasons that the state said. There is a dispute going on here, but there is no dispute that all these locations are very, very important. And we can only ask you to pay attention as best you can. When we get there, we'll just remind you of perspective and specific areas to look at. I believe that we'll be going behind you to make sure that the bus stops long enough for you to absorb all of the areas before you go to the next one, until you step out and actually walk around, starting at Colonial Village. Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the preview statements. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to send you back into the jury deliberation room. This is a good time to use the restroom, have a drink of water. I think we've got a little bit of time before the bus arrives. We will let you know when the bus arrives, and you'll be escorted by the court officers. I will be on the bus with you, as well as some of the court staff. The lawyers will be going separately. So just be patient. As soon as the bus is ready for us and all of our business here is concluded, we will go ahead and get on the bus and begin the view. All right. The reminder about not talking about the case with each other or with anyone else or doing any independent research, make sure you don't do that. Okay? All rise for the jurors, please.
All right, we'll leave that up there and see if they come back today. Yeah, I definitely agree, artists. That's ridiculous. I mean, seriously, think about the traffic. Think about, the clerk in the drive-through line. What? Come on. I think we all already know shit like that. Wow, that's really something. Hey, poor frogs. Yeah, that was a little irritating. Yeah, they're taking them on a field trip before. Yep, exactly. Yeah, all day I've been waiting. I kept changing the time because they actually acted like they were getting ready to. They took an early lunch so that they could go right into opening statement right after lunch. And then as soon as they got back from lunch, they decided to back up, he pleaded. Yeah, there was some stuff this morning. Yeah, we could go and see. Some of it was just nonsensical, but yeah, you're right. We can go back to some of that. I feel you. Let's see.
Well, we've been in storage for a long time, waiting for you. Why me?
A lot of it is just irritating. Like that right there was pretty irritating, if you ask me.
Without you, we go back in the store.
We can't recreate traffic, right? Everybody knows that.
Hey, look, I'm sorry, but this is all a big mistake. You see,
Let's see.
yard sale. Why were you in the yard sale if you had a motor? Well, I wasn't supposed to be there. I was trying to get another toy. Was it because you're damaged? Did this hand break you? Yeah, but no. It was an accident. I mean,
Sounds like you really love you.
it's not
I don't know how much of this.
and I'm not going to any museum.
Well, I'm not going back in this store.
No, he didn't confess. He confessed?
Go on, Jackie. Jackie, look at me. I promise you'll come out of the box. Now go.
If he confessed, then why is any of this happening?
No time. And now, maybe this
Okay, this was all pretty irritating. I listened to a lot of
All of the
this.
instructions I'm about to give you.
No, I don't
The
want to
state
hear that.
has proved the defendant's guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. A reasonable doubt that he is carefully to the evidence as it is presented.
Let's face out. I got an emergency here. Yes, we're open. But it has to be tonight. All right. The first thing in the morning. Ah! It's gone! I can't believe it. My arm is completely gone. Let me see. Oh, it's just a pop seam. Easily repaired. You should consider yourself lucky. Lucky? Are you sweet rat? I am missing my arm!
Big deal. Let him go. I'm sure his precious Andy is dying to play with those one-armed cowboys.
If he pled guilty, then this would just be, they wouldn't need to take a field trip. Yeah. Oh, hello, Mr. Cold. Oh my gosh.
Nobody was going to get my cork back in. Good work, man. Two blocks.
Oh, okay.
More to go. My corks are killing me. Come on, fellas. What do you give up when Sid has-
Yeah, that's not, yeah, I would, sis, I would like that.
No.
Okay.
Threw him out of the back of that moving van? Oh, you haven't breathed that. No, he didn't. We have a friend in not rest until he's safe in that room. Now let's pull out. And that concludes our broadcast day.
You can't tell on here. Oh, because of, background over here at my house. Hold on, let me see.
Statements, okay? So, and then we will wait for the bus to come, and when everybody's ready, we'll get on the bus and we'll go for the view. Then depending on what time it is after that and other circumstances, we'll determine whether seated. Council approach.
I think it was here at my house. I don't know where it's at. All I heard was jury instructions earlier.
Over here. Attaboy. Okay, bullseye. Sit easy.
So it's not, nothing's going to change. Did you see all that bullshit in Delphi? They're going to screw up that Delphi. I think they did screw it up. Right, frazzled. It does. How do you abuse it if you didn't? I think that what they're going to try to do is say that Kayla did it, right? Is that what you guys are thinking? The way she was talking about, kept carrying on and on about the, the clerk at the Burger King and stuff, to pay attention to all that. I think they're going to try to pin it on Kayla. If he's saying that he abused a corpse and what... Oh, there's the TV. Okay.
Helps you choose the right without over or under. Across all your benefits and savings options. So you can feel confident in your financial choices.
They really know how to put two and two together. Well invested, well protected.
Listen, we know things don't work.
He's going to wear shackles to court.
Inflation is down, rent is up. Well, when the cost of living is high, we find new ways to go low. We've lowered the price on hundreds of your favorite IKEA products. Designing something like this or be
Attorney Smith, Attorney Brooks, ready?
great quality.
We'll bring the jurors in now. Please rise for the jury.
While we're here, that's a problem.
rise for the jury.
Andy. That's all he ever talks about.
All right, I'll ask the jurors to
It's at
please
the very
remain
end
standing.
before the
Everyone else,
field
you may
trip.
be seated.
Right.
Members of the jury, I'm going to swear you in now. So if you could please raise your right hands, and at the conclusion of the oath, if you would please say, "I will." You so solemnly swear or affirm that you will carefully consider
Hi,
the
Zero
evidence
Jules.
and the law presented to you in this case, and that you will deliver a fair and true verdict as to the charges or charge in such case made in statute, in such case made and provided, and against the people.
Instructions will explain the law as, in short, you should consider only the legally whatsoever to prove his innocence in this case, support an inference that it rained during the night. But in the absence of additional evidence, it will not necessarily support inferences about how much rain fell or for how long a period of time. You should consider both kinds of evidence. You are permitted to give equal weight to the witness's attitude, behavior, and appearance after it was presented to you, or to ignore this information.
Oh my God, this
and
is
not
irritating
consider
as
it.
shit. Yes,
Finally,
it says, I just saw
to be entered as evidence after hearing objections by one of the lawyers.
the tweet
You are not to
says,
give such evidence any special importance.
the tweet says, Adam Montgomery admits guilt to 2 charges in Harmony Montgomery trial, falsifying evidence and abuse of a corpse. Montgomery still faces murder. Murder and assault charges in the death of his 5-year-old daughter. Yep. So I think he's doing that just like I was saying earlier. They must be going to go after Kayla and try to say that she did it. They spend a really long time explaining reasonable doubt, and I understand that happens every trial, but I mean, I can only listen to so much of that shit because I already know what it means.
Oh, thank goodness you're here.
Is the specimen ready for cleaning?
This has already been driving me crazy. I've been waiting for this to start all day. Yeah, Mama's a boss. I think that there is something really screwy going on in Delphi. What the hell are they doing over there? I am so disappointed. I don't even know what to say. I think nobody's going to be charged with that. I mean, or nobody's going to be, they're going to get no justice.
So, how long is this going to take?
You can't rush out.
I don't know how they can continue to keep that judge and the prosecutor. I don't know how they can keep doing that. They have screwed this up so bad.
No.
And I really want to see that whole damn bridge tape.
We can read.
Because what is them holding on to all that helped? It hasn't helped squat. I know, it's so stupid. So annoyed with that shit.
Let's go.
They've known about Richard Allen from day one. Yeah, the prosecution and the judge have got to go. There is no way they can do that shit. They really can't. Oh, crap. Sorry. Oh, my God. Jeez.
They have been instructed that they are not to take pictures of the jurors in the case, but I expect that there will be media coverage. You are instructed that you must not read any articles or view any media coverage on television, online, or elsewhere. So avoid your local papers. Have somebody pull the international section if you want, but don't watch any media coverage of the case, okay? You are instructed to turn off any notification or banners that come through your smartphone, computers, smartwatches, or other devices, okay? Finally, do not conduct any research or investigation of your own. You must render your verdict based solely on the evidence submitted at trial. So don't look up the law. That will be given to you in the court's instructions. Don't drive by any locations. Don't look up any names. Don't look anybody up on social media. It is critically important that your verdict in this case is based exclusively on the evidence that's presented at trial. Our trial day will generally go from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. We will also generally take a mid-morning and mid-afternoon break. I try to look at sort of natural break points in the case to determine when those breaks happen. But generally we'll have a mid-afternoon, mid-morning break, and we'll also have a lunch break. The court has asked you to put your cell phones in a box in the jury deliberation room. Please make sure they are silenced or turned off altogether. As I said to you, you will be permitted to check your phones when you are on break. However, you are not to look at any news reporting or media coverage of this case, as I have already told you. Additionally, you are not permitted to take notes of any kind, not on paper nor on your phones. The reason for this is that it is important that your recollection of the evidence is what controls. Sometimes if notes are taken, they can be given undue weight, and it's important that when it comes time to deliberate, you are using your individual and collective memories about the evidence, and one note or one written recollection doesn't control. You should also be aware that there will be no transcript available to you when it comes time to deliberate. So although we have our excellent court monitors here, and there's an audio recording that is not available to the jurors, and there will be no transcript. So your individual and collective recollection is what will control as you go into the deliberations. Therefore, please listen carefully to the evidence as it is presented. If during the course of this trial you have any questions or problems, you become thirsty or need anything else, just get the court officer's attention, either of our court officers or my attention, so that we can assist you. If at any time during the trial you cannot hear, please raise your hand so that I can ask the witness or the lawyers to speak up. That goes as well for any monitors. If you cannot see, please do let us know. It is important that you are viewing and listening to all of the evidence as it's presented. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is now 20 of. I had indicated to you earlier that I thought we would go right into opening statements, but based on what I anticipate the length of the opening statements will be, I think that would hold your lunch off for quite a long time. So, after speaking with the lawyers, I think what we're going to do is we'll take an early lunch break. So we're going to break now. Please come back at in 1 hour, so 20 to 1. And then we'll move directly into opening statements. So don't talk about the case, not with each other, not with anybody else. Don't look up any media, don't do any independent research, and I will see you in an hour after lunch. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. All rise for the jurors.
Well, I don't know where that's at, but we know what happened, so I'm not going to worry about that.
Say, where'd you get
Yes, Happy.
Well, slotted pig there, standard issue.
I don't know that they're going to be back today.
Yes, I have the pictures right here.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm in the car right now. I'm out in the office to fax them.
I don't know that they're going to be back today. So far, it looks like they're not. This just was a waste of my entire day. Slightly annoyed with that.
Well, what a good idea.
So if they start tomorrow at 9, I'm going to give it a little, I'm going to start late because there's so much of this. And I was even listening to other channels today saying they were going to start late.
I don't know what to do.
Oh, in Delphi. Yeah,
Hey, what you doing, Leah?
definitely. I'm so disturbed about what's happening in Delphi.
Look, Jesse, I know you hate me leaving, but
Well, and they're up. They pulled some kind of shit that they're trying to get by with, and I don't know what it is, but they pulled some kind of crap. Yeah, Indiana actually, but that's what I know what you mean. Oh, look, we're back.
how did you know that?
Because Emily was just the same. She was my whole world. When somebody loves me, everything
So
Right.
in terms
It's exactly right, Happy.
every hour is
today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to issue an order that indicates that approximately an hour prior to his transport time from the New Hampshire State Prison shall ask Mr. Montgomery whether he will be accepting or refusing transport. If Mr. Montgomery informs New Hampshire State Prison officials that he will accept the transport, then transport will be informed and they'll immediately go up to the prison to get him, okay? So that would mean he would be here on time. If he refuses transport, the sheriff's office will be notified and transport vehicle will not be sent to the New Hampshire State Prison. The New Hampshire State Prison shall notify the sheriff's office and provide documentation of the refusal to the court. This process will continue each day throughout the trial and through the verdict unless there's further order of the court. Okay, and I just wanted to go through that with you because if you do speak to Mr. Montgomery tonight, you can let him know that that's the order I'm going to issue. We'll need to communicate with the court will need to communicate with the prison, but that's the order I'm going to issue, and that's what I expect will happen. Okay. All right. I think I've asked them to come back at 8:45 tomorrow morning. I've given them the communication instruction. I told them that if their regular route home involves driving by any locations that we drove by today, that they can take their regular route, but they're not to, pay any extra attention to those areas that we were in today. Right? Anything from that the state feels we should cover?
I guess two different parts here. First of all, with regards to the instruction and the order on transport, no, the state entirely agrees. There's been two separate, and just for the record, there's been two separate colloquies with the court, between the court and Mr. Montgomery today. He certainly seems that he is very clear in his intentions of what he wants to do and what he does not. The state accepts that and doesn't challenge that in any way. And we agree with the court's plan on how to deal with that moving forward. I think one of the two things that the state just wants to bring up is tomorrow morning. I know we're going to have the jurors back here for 8:45. What time might the courtroom be open, and what time would you like to start with opening arguments? Just so we can make sure the rest of the technology is going to work and it's in an appropriate location.
Okay, so what I expected, what I told the jurors is be back here 8:45. If all goes according to plan, that we would begin openings at 9. Okay, if everybody's here and everybody's ready before 9, then we would start before 9. But 9 would be certainly the go time. Okay, absent some extraordinary circumstance, given the number of circumstances we had today, it would be great if somebody from each side can be here a little earlier, even if it's just one of you, because one of you can communicate with the other via phone if necessary. So that's fine. I think you have a longer distance to travel. Actually, I have no idea how far you come. So, so just being here a little early. Let me see what time can the courtroom be open?
They open at 7:45.
What about the courtroom?
Oh, whenever you tell me.
Just maybe 8:30, Your Honor, if that's available.
Oh, definitely.
And I'll just at least give us 15 minutes before the 8:45 time to make sure things are ready.
That sounds great. And that way, if you can, if defense can also be here on that a little bit earlier side, so that we can just confirm that everybody's comfortable with where the technology is, that would be great. Not, you don't have to come that early, but I just want to do it so that we can get an on-time start. And if we need to move things around, we can. It does look like we have a podium, so that's good. You'll have your witnesses lined up and ready to go for a full day.
Yes, we're going to be speaking with our advocate just in a few minutes as soon as we get done this hearing, Your Honor, and we'll be able to hopefully provide that list to defense counsel before they leave the courthouse. So we just need a couple of minutes. I know typically we always make sure it's done by 6 p.m. I think we'll be able to be earlier than that.
Great.
I guess, just, God bless you. I think just separate from that, Your Honor, one thing that looking through the inter-office memorandum you stated regarding, apologize, let me slow down, Lieutenant Burke's write-up of Sergeant Fullermont's write-up of the interaction today. You stated earlier on that this is something that typically would be filed in court regarding the refusal for a transport.
Well, I don't know. I know that when we have that from the House of Correction, I don't know if it gets transmitted by the House of Correction to the court and the court puts it in the file, or that must be the way it happens. So we can put this in the file as we do, with that, but the House of Correction is not a memo. It's just a defendant refused. Sometimes it has some explanation on it, but it's not quite like that. So that's why I would like you to confer with each other. I don't see any reason why it can't be uploaded.
I think the state's position is going to be that it should be uploaded in the memo. Certainly the facts that were in there were taken into account when considering the defendant's colloquies today. Certainly the defense counsel should have an opportunity to talk about it amongst themselves, but it is the state's position that this should be uploaded.
Say anything about that? Or you want to take some time to read it more carefully? You just got it, so.
Right, I think that there's new information on there that sort of falls into some of the concerns that I addressed earlier this morning. So yes, I'd like some more time with it.
Okay. So, all right, anything else you wanted to raise? No? All right. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow morning. If something else, I'll issue this order today. If anything comes up, please let the court know, and we'll make sure that we get a chance to communicate about it. Okay. Thank you.
All right.
Imagine we added another zero to the.
Okay, so let me see.
Yes, you got a deal. I'll be on the next flight to Jamaica.
Says capital punishment was abolished in 2019 in New Hampshire for persons convicted of capital murder. It remains a legal penalty for crimes committed prior to May 30th, 2019. Wow. That would be very close for this one, right? Oh my goodness. When do they say it's, I know it's, oh no, this was before. They say she was killed in 2017, right? Oh, I think this would be this would be eligible then. Wow. I don't know. I think it would be. Because remember, she was missing for 2 years. She was dead. Let's just be honest. Yeah, Mama's the boss. I'm going to say that, yeah. And I don't think that I think they have to do that. I think it's only right to give him a new trial because they have fucked this up. I don't think he's been done right, honestly. Yeah, they should. So he's refusing to be transported? Good God. You can just see he's that type. He's always probably never behaved his damn self. Shit ass.
He's ascending in the vertical transporter. All right, everyone. Hang on, we're gonna
Huh.
Oh
my gosh. When was the last time someone was executed in New Hampshire? 1939. Okay, I think we can probably hang it up. Yeah, I had a feeling that there's a bunch of sorry saps over there. Yeah, I think that he will get. He's not getting. What's happening right now is not fair. It's not right what they're doing. And I'm really trying to figure out why they even bothered to arrest him right now. Oh, sorry. Is it real bad? I kept trying to mute myself.
Just like you said, Lizard Man, the shadows to the left. Okay, let's go.
I could turn mine down, right?
Making our way through the bowels of search.
Edit.
No. Which way do we go?
Let me see.
What makes you so sure? I'm Buzz Lightyear. I'm always sure. We've been detected. Look, they're closing in.
Well, I should be able to turn mine down though. Huh. I wonder why I can't. Oh, let's see.
They'll be expecting that.
Wow. Okay. Did that do anything?
To overnight 6 packages to Japan is how much?
But the bill is wrong.
They take advantage of people in a hurry, you know that?
I don't know what that means, Happy.
You're gonna be here in 15 minutes because
I'm going to see what. Let me go over.
you know what? I'm actually excited about it. What do you mean? I really am. Why shouldn't you be?
Okay, hopefully, let me see if that's. I went into settings and changed the background noise. Automatic adjust. Okay, let me see. Hopefully this is better. So today was, you know what? Actually, I think I was probably spot on by thinking that tomorrow, I had it scheduled for tomorrow the whole time, but it started looking like it was going to happen today. So I changed it, but I think that this was just a big waste of time. So tomorrow I do want to start late. I can't decide what to do because I do have an appointment tomorrow morning also. So if we started at like 2 hours in, yeah, we actually probably could do that. I think we'll start like 2 hours in. That way we can just pass up all the nonsense. Because they talked about being all ready by 9 tomorrow, but they're not going to be. You know that. It already looks to me like these people just want to say shit. They just want to talk to hear themselves talk or something. I hope we don't have any. Let me look really quick and see how long this is expected. Now, we already know that doesn't matter. Okay, they're anticipating 3 weeks. So that shouldn't be too bad if they stick to that, then. Oh, I was going to say, did she do okay getting on? Yeah, it's a pretty quick flight though, right? She'll be there. Like when you go to Vegas from Arizona, I'm telling you, you barely get in the air and you start to land. It's not too long to California. Oh, let me look and see if I heard back from Cosmic. Just to let everybody know. So I heard from Cosmic, her daughter, her sister-in-law in the accident, her sister-in-law was pretty much scalped. She had 57 stitches in her head and 2 black eyes. Her nephew has a broken jaw. He was going to get it wired today. So if everybody can keep Cosmic Crazy and her family in your prayers, I would really appreciate it. We did talk about it a little bit, Jerry. I think, Mama's a Boss said she thinks that he'll end up getting an appeal and having a retrial. I would not be surprised, and I think that he might deserve it because they have screwed this up big time. I don't know. How can they let it go away when they've let him sit in there and damn near die? I mean, I don't know what they're going to do, but that judge and everybody there is dirty as shit. I don't know what's happening. But I don't, they're saying they deleted interviews. They've gotten rid of evidence. The prosecution has. That judge needs to recuse herself and she will not. I don't know what the hell is going to happen. I'm telling you, I'm so sick to my stomach that they have screwed this up so bad. Those poor girls, my God. I want to see every bit of that damn bridge tape. I am sick of their asses. It's minutes long. And we've seen like 8 seconds. There is something screwy as shit going on over there. Yep. Ron Logan, the guy that lived over there. Right? Because, and he died. Right? Correct? I think they pissed around with this for so long, though. I cannot believe it. I really cannot. There's a whole bunch of people involved in this. Whoever was Keegan Klein or whoever was, I think maybe several people were being those talking through that catfish app or that profile, whatever. That whoever was speaking on that person's behalf spoke to Libby before they went there. I don't know how. I think Keegan Klein is involved in it and his dad too. Yeah, I definitely have a feeling about the guy that lived over there. And they know that Richard Allen was there. They've known that the whole time. The whole fucking time. They've known that. God. So aggravating. So I hope that it's better. I hope the sound is better, the background. Let me see. I think they were too, Jerry. And they were using that guy's pictures and stuff. Oh, good. I'm sorry about that, guys. I didn't realize it sounded so loud. Yeah, hearing him is one thing, but dumping out the toys and uh-oh, here. Okay. Here you go. Yeah. We like marshmallows. Huh? Hmm. But what they've done to Richard Allen is not right, even if he is guilty. You're exactly. It's not, because for one thing, he's not been proven guilty at all. So, and this is crazy what they're doing. I can't even believe it. These what a damn joke. I don't think anybody's going to be convicted. And I think that if they don't let him out and drop these charges, he's going to sue the shit out of him. At this point, he should. I think they wanted an arrest. They just wanted an arrest. No, it's not, Jerry. It's not at all. And I'm not trying to have sympathy for this guy. But this is not, you're absolutely right. This is not how it's supposed to work. Not at all. And I'm so sick of that damn judge. I bet. I bet, Jerry. There's been so much shit. It is really messed up. Somebody said there was an election or something going on right whenever they arrested Richard Allen. I don't doubt it. They clearly weren't ready. I know. I bet he did. He probably thought, no, that is not how that works. Isn't that wild? I've never heard of this before. It's totally crazy. No, you're supposed to be in jail. Exactly. And they're trying to say, they say that he's, starving himself, but that's not what we're being told. He's saying that he's being starved and beat and all kinds of shit by the guards. It's definitely some bullshit. It just makes me nervous because I think they've screwed this up. I honest to God think they have screwed this up. I think so too. But that judge is not going to ever call one. She's not. And they already filed a motion for her to recuse herself, and she said no. That was yesterday. She said no. Now they're asking for more time because they just got new attorneys. I mean, this is, well, like Mama's boss said, if not that, an appeal. That's exactly right, Legs. Yep. Yeah, we can't go along with that. No, it's not okay for us to say that it's okay to happen to him. It's really not. He's like, yeah, I think that I realize that's what you think, but that's not what's happening. Yeah, because it does sound like somebody's got it all wrong, because it is all wrong. It's crazy. And to think how bad. We wanted, we've all wanted that solved for so long. And to think that I don't think they're going to. That's me too, Jerry. I think so. It's exactly what I think. Those girls aren't going to get any justice because they have fucked this up all over the place. Yep. Yep, I agree. No, you want that? You're silly. Yes, I absolutely agree. No, that's exactly right. Whoever can be sure. And there is something, you know what? I don't, my God, how do they have two completely different sketches? I mean, what? Think about that. Watch this. I mean, seriously. Well, they say that he confessed to his wife in the jail. I'm not quite sure how all that went. Now look at these sketches. Hey, wondering. Look at the difference in those two. How did they come up with that? What the hell's that? For the longest time, it was just the one sketch for years. Then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, they had this other sketch. Where the hell did that come from? No, it definitely won't be the jury's fault. Yeah, well, that's true. But where did all these sketches come from? What in the AF is happening? Again, Jerry, they knew about him too. They've known all that shit the whole time. So what the hell have they been doing? They've known all this shit the whole damn time. There is something that smells to high heaven over there. Right. There's some questioning to his confession. I don't know that I buy it. And how weird. I mean, trying to talk to Pop Pop. Keegan does look like the sketch. Yes, he does. I know. It blows my mind. But he doesn't look like Bridge Guy, really. He doesn't. I mean, yeah, he kind of does, I guess. He could, huh? He could look like Bridge Guy. I want to see the whole damn tape, the whole video of Bridge Guy. So annoyed that they won't show us that. They act like it's some kind of something they need to keep close, but I don't believe that because they fucked it all up. I bet you if you could see the whole thing, I bet somebody would figure it out. Exactly. Right. So it's like they pulled them out of their ass. Yep. I don't buy none of this anymore. I mean the video, but I want to see the whole thing. I want to see it all. Had enough of their shit. Let's watch the video real quick. "12 seconds is what we get." Where are they putting that sketch with that? Right. True. That's true. Yeah, he does. How did he not see Bridge Guy? Right. No, we actually get like 4 seconds of it, right? But haven't you heard that whole thing is like 7 minutes or it's minutes long. Me too. I want to see it. Since you have jacked this up, show us. You know what? There's a reason they're not showing that. And it is not because to save the integrity of their case, because they have fucked their case all. The integrity is jacked. See, that's why. And do they not? They don't want us to be able to see who it is. Otherwise, why have they not showed it? I bet you anything you would be able to. If everybody saw that whole tape, you'd be able to figure out exactly who it is. Why won't they show it? They're lying about preserving integrity. They have fucked it up way too much to act like that. No way. No damn. Yes, he was. Yep, I remember that. And talk about things being able to, things were not there right away, right? Well, he lived right there. Oh, Lord. It's not. No, it's not. Right. But all out of nowhere, where did they? I just don't understand why they, for years, all of a sudden they come out with that new sketch. That did not make any. Oh, let me see. Oh, shit. Yep. Oh, my God. Oh, God. You know what? I haven't looked at them for a long time. Oh, my stomach hurts. No, all we get is down the hill, down the hill, down the hill. Play it over. Because they do it, play it over and over. Down the hill, down the hill. Oh, my God, you guys, your stomach's going to hurt right now. Oh, I forgot. Oh, shit. How do I blow this up? Look at that. Oh my God. It is falling apart. It absolutely is. Let's try to watch. Oh my God. That totally looks like, isn't it? It is. It does sound like him too, doesn't it? Don't you think? They are. They are. That's what they're doing. Hey, Babs. I know they are trying to. Oh my God. Oh, where's Gobby going? Let me see. I missed it. Oh no. Be careful, Gobby. Oh gosh. It doesn't not sound like him, right? Oh Lord. Mm-mm-mm. Crazy. Yeah, I'm anxious to see what they're gonna do there. It's like they have their heels dug in though. They're not gonna stop. That judge for sure. You know, some of these people just think that they are. You didn't hear it, Jerry? Oh my gosh. Okay. Let me see. Let me play it again. Oh, I didn't have it. Sorry. Shit. I thought you guys were listening to it with me. He does. Let me see here. Uh, okay, here we go.
Skies Wednesday. It was still hard for Ron Logan to believe the violence visited upon two young teens just out for a hike on a day off from school.
Who would have thought they'd let their children out to do something special that day, take a trip down, and then turn out a disaster like this?
For 53 years, Logan's lived on the country road near the trail that leads to the Monon High Bridge.
People walk up and down it with their children, and yeah, it's quite a nice little trail, and the bridge is real.
Never, though, has Logan seen anything like what he has this week, the search for an eventual discovery of the bodies of Libby German and Abby Williams.
The area that they were in is very hard to get to. I mean, you can't get there unless you walk there. I mean, so somebody would be walking with them or something.
Those are the same kind of thoughts Marvin Sandifer keeps mulling over. His daughter used to hike the same trail.
She said, I've seen a couple scruffy looking guys back in there, but, you know, they never bothered me. They went on their way.
Sandifer is anxious for investigators to identify a suspect.
I'm not really scared. I'm just worried that it would happen again.
That's why he hopes someone knows or saw something on that trail Monday and can lead investigators down the right path soon.
I hope they catch him tonight, and I hope they make him pay.
Yeah, he's dead now. It doesn't, but it doesn't not, because that bridge guy, that video is so grainy and stuff. Are you giving love? It doesn't not sound like him necessarily, though. And you could make a case if we saw the whole damn tape, the whole video. I want to see the whole thing. Oh, okay. You said the same thing as me. Yeah, yeah. It doesn't not sound like him. That's what I think too. Yeah. That's what they say. They say that, Happy. I don't know. I don't trust a damn thing they say over there. Because this whole thing right now that's going on is a bunch of bullshit. I think we're never going to get justice for those poor girls. I was trying to find a side-by-side picture of this is kind of funny, not funny, not funny. Not bridge guy, question mark. Yeah, but see that picture there is him a long time ago. Or I mean later. See right there. That could absolutely be bridge guy. I know. I don't either. Only thing I feel very comfortable with is they've screwed it up. I feel real comfortable with that. Yep, I think you're right. That's really sad. That's so sad. Very much so. All right, I'm going to shut this down and be back in the morning. I think we will get started tomorrow at least. I believe that's going to happen. So I won't be on tonight because this during trial, I don't know how many evenings I'll be on with all that, with how all that goes. Yeah, I agree too. Happy I do. No, you're right. You're right. Yeah, that's funny, Jerry. You're right. He does seem taller. He does. I don't know. I don't know what to do about that. Yeah, he actually does. All right, I'm going to shut it down and I will see you guys in the morning. All right, love ya.